Brianna is an inspiration. And I'm going to say this. I don't, when we have guests in here, I get excited, but I found you on Instagram and your business, and I was just amazed, right? So
Thank you.
I went back and I started looking at all of the videos on Instagram of
Mhm.
how you guys started, and what appears to be a family business. And we're going to get into this,
Yeah.
but if you want to see a story, if you want to understand what this business is, all I had to do was go on Instagram and
Mhm.
watch your journey. And it was so inspiring because you don't see this. A lot of people put all of this content out there and you don't really understand who they are. And I'm
Mhm.
guilty of this as well, I'm
Yeah.
going to say, right? But tell us a little bit about what is your business,
Mhm.
and we'll get into the kind of the story of how it started.
Yeah. So, my business is called Crema Avenue. We are a mobile coffee trailer and cart business. Um, Basically, how this business came to be. I've always loved coffee. I think if you ask anybody off the street, like they love coffee. Um, I work a full-time job, but I've always had that dream of, oh, one day I want to open my own coffee shop and, run my own business, but it always seemed so like far away. Um, and I just kind of was like, okay, maybe one day, but um yeah, I just started thinking like, how can I get into the space without taking that big of a risk, like with opening a shop?
Hmm.
Because honestly, like I worked in coffee jobs before. In college, I worked at a coffee shop called the Java House in Iowa City. I worked at Dunkin' when I came back home. I worked on a coffee trailer also last summer, but I still felt like I didn't know enough about the business to like run it myself.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, one day I was just like, you know what? Like I really want to do this and I'm just gonna take the first step. So, luckily enough, last summer I worked on a coffee trailer and I asked her, I was like, what's the first step? I don't even know, like, where do I even begin?
Hmm.
And the first step was as simple as calling the health department and like figuring out what I needed to do. Like they told you exactly what you needed to do. So once I called them, I was like, okay, like the first step is always like I feel like the hardest, and I just did it. So I could keep going.
Hmm.
Um, but I mean, after that day, like it just I was like, okay, now I need this. Let me get that done. I need this. Let me get that done. So it just kind of like started without me realizing like, oh, this is progressing really fast, and yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
Welcome to
know.
entrepreneurship,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
So how long has it been going on?
So okay, well, I called the health department, I would say in July of 2024, and my first pop-up was November 2024.
Right.
And this is April of 2025. So
Yes.
you haven't even gone through a summer festival season yet.
No, no, I haven't.
So
But yeah, go ahead.
yeah, no. Let me go back to the start though,
Yeah.
because it was like if you go on their Instagram, you can see them buying just a regular trailer. We're not talking food truck here.
No.
We're not talking an $80,000 food truck. We are talking about a typical, a carpenter construction
Yeah.
trailer that you have converted into a coffee trailer,
Yep.
which looks amazing.
Thank you.
And you basically showed us how you went through and did all that. So again, really cool story.
Thank you.
And obviously, you see the family and you see all of your fans even. And I'm telling you, Jim, you got to go check this out. It's amazing to look at the story, but it's been 6 months,
Yeah.
to be honest, in
Yeah.
what you've done. And you've already got you know 3,000 people on Instagram that are really interactive. You're on
Yeah.
TikTok as well.
Hmm.
Those were the two that I found.
Yeah.
But you've got a tremendous relationship with your followers, and you're getting all of this really great press. I'm going to say, what's the secret?
I
Say, I'm
mean,
good. I'm just good.
no,
Yeah.
no. I mean, I think the secret per se is like honestly just having your followers be involved in the process. I ask them a lot of questions. I ask them, what flavors do you guys want to see? What do you guys like this sweater or this sweater? Like, I ask them the simplest questions just to like really get them involved in the business. And I think part of it is also luck. I've just been so lucky since I've started. My first pop-up was literally in my dad's garage. Like, that's where I
Love that.
started. Um, and I had such a good turnout that day because it was in the community I grew up in on the southeast side of Chicago. I just had friends, family, like their friends, their family come just to support me, and I feel like that is part of it, and just also like bringing them along like on every like aspect of my journey, because honestly, like I'm still figuring it out. Like this is my first business ever. Like I don't know what someone in business who's been in business for like 20 years. I don't know what they know. I'm just still figuring it out myself. So I think bringing them along and just, making them feel a part of this business, but like also like this is like my family business. Like this is something that me and my family like think about all the time, and we all have full-time jobs. So I just think it feels a little bit more, I don't know. Like I just feel like it's not just a business.
It's a
It's a
community, right?
community. It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have a full-time job.
I do. Yes.
Do you want this to be your full-time job?
Of course. I do. But I mean, I have a great job right now, and I don't see myself leaving it anytime soon, but I could see myself doing this full time. I really do love it.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, again, we talk about listening to your customers constantly. We talk about referrals.
Mhm.
We just, we had Katie on the last podcast and talking about referrals and kind of
Mhm.
community and working together. It sounds to me like you have embraced those customers. I mean,
Mhm.
everything that I see online with what you guys are doing
Yeah.
is nothing short of a celebration of your customers, and they're doing the
Thank you.
same for you.
Thank you.
I was showing my daughter last night a bunch of the coffees, and she's like, "I'll take one of those and one of those and one of those." So you've sold her already, even though
Oh.
she's in high school and hopefully in class at this point. But yeah, I mean, so you're doing a variety of different local events. So
Mhm.
you're mobile, you don't have a
Mhm.
location, your customers have to find you
Yeah.
or you're finding new customers.
Yes.
How do you get involved with some of these events that you're doing?
Um, Honestly, a lot of people have reached out to me,
Hmm.
just kind of saying like, "Are you interested in this event?" But I've also like reached out to small businesses that I want to partner with, or people who run their own businesses. I reach out to them and I just say, hey, like I would love to work with you. I think like we could both like promote this and it could benefit both of us. And yeah, I just if you want to work with someone, I think you should just reach out to them, and you never know what what could happen out of that just interaction that you have with them.
It's funny, Jim and I kind of look at each other when we have guests on every once in a while. We're just like, we just had this conversation,
Yeah.
and it's funny that you say, I don't know what somebody with 20 years experience what they would do. The
Mhm.
funny part is you're doing it. So you're listening to your customers,
Mhm.
you're embracing them, you're developing new things with them, you're looking for referrals, you're working with partners that are out there. I mean, you are doing what we have been saying on this podcast for now 28 episodes.
Yeah.
That so you have it. You know what you're doing, right?
So,
Uh,
so can I follow up on that? One of the things the professor here brings up is, and now that you've mentioned this, I see this all the time on my feeds, is like, don't just put out like, generic sales BS on your feed just to put something out.
Right.
Give them actual content. I mean, you kind of did that naturally, is
Yeah.
basically what she's exemplifying.
mhm.
So, to the small business or the marketing person that doesn't know what to put on their feed, or,
Mhm.
oh my gosh, she's getting all this traction. How come I can't get any traction? What do you tell them?
Mm. I think social media is such a powerful tool. I think if you really want to grow your audience, you have to kind of play with what works and what doesn't work. So I like to do a lot of video content. I try and make sure, I know I could improve on my editing skills and everything, but I try and make sure like my video is engaging. Like that means font, that means the sound, that means the story I'm trying to tell, that means like the angles I'm trying to get. I try and just make sure that the videos, or I'm sorry, the content is just very appealing to the customer. Like, I try not to focus on what I want to share with them. I try and focus on what does the customer want to, what do my followers want to like learn about or like see what I'm doing. I just posted a video yesterday about like a day in my life when I have an event. So many people message me saying more videos like this.
Right.
So you just kind of have to listen to your audience and just go from there. I think really get good on editing, really get good on filming, invest in, good tools like a tripod and just stuff like that. Like, and you never know what video is going to do really well and you never know what's going to go like not so well.
Right.
So post everything. Like if you could post everything, just post everything and you never know what's going to hit.
I'm guilty of that, right?
Mhm.
We post a lot of videos from
Yeah.
this podcast, and I'm thinking, oh, this one is just going to take off, and the next thing I know, there's nobody that
Oh,
really
I've been there.
has
I've
done
been there.
anything, and then the very next one, you're like, this one's garbage, and
Yeah.
there's 800 people that have liked it in the last 5 minutes, and you're like, what is going on in this
I
world?
swear, and it's literally the videos that you spend the least amount of time editing that just do so well, and it's like ugh, I spent so much time on this video and it didn't do any like it did, yeah, but
Yeah.
I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
Adriana, you got something for us?
So
Yeah, I think she's gonna
there we
play.
go.
She's
Yeah.
gonna play one of your videos. Is that okay?
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
there we go.
Can we see the day in the life one that is
Sure.
posted on
Yeah.
Instagram here?
Oh my
okay,
gosh.
so let's get the Instagram right here.
Oh gosh. On a day that I have an event, so here we go. It's been about 6 months since me and my family started this whole thing, which is crazy to think about, but we kind of got the process down packed at this point. This particular event was really close to home, so we plugged in to warm up the espresso machine so that it was ready to go. The good thing about it getting warmer out now is that I could put everything in the trailer the night before, so I don't have to do it all in the morning. The one annoying thing about event days that I cannot get around is having to go to Strax and getting milk and ice. Sometimes it's kind of hard to gauge how much ice and milk you need when you're going to a public event, but we hope for the best. I go really long without eating on event days sometimes, so eating breakfast is a must for me. Got to our location for the day, and might I add, I'm the one who drove the trailer there. That will have been my second time driving it, and I'm so proud of myself. When we got there was already a line, so it was a little stressful, but as the day went on, it was more of a steady pace. I met the absolutely cutest dog, Milo. He reminded me so much of my waffles. But yeah, tell me if I should do more of these. I want to show you guys what it looks like on a day that I have an event.
Yeah,
So
oh my
here we-
gosh, Adriana, your initial reaction. Try getting our sports guys to do that. What do you think?
Honestly, I would. I like those videos like that because that allows, how you were saying, that it allows the customer to be a part of the process, to see the behind the scenes. And a lot of people at first, they don't think, like, nobody really wants to see that, but we really do. We want to see how your life goes day by day, and even like how you say you're running this business and everything, to be able to say, okay, here's a day in my life now, and then you do it for each of the employees to have that personal feeling. And so not only, yes, it is you and your company, but it's also like a kind of a family in a way.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so you strip down the barriers is
Yeah.
essentially what you've done. So I think too many companies out there will literally say it's got to be polished, it's got to be perfect. I can't show the struggles that go on behind the scenes,
Right.
and really what human beings want to understand that you're just like them, right? So you are. It's the struggle. It's all of these
Yeah.
things that I have to do, and you're throwing huge bags of ice, and there's all this stuff,
Yeah.
right? So I think the authenticity of it just works with the brand. And that is the biggest thing that I try to tell everyone is, like, you cannot be so over the top polished.
Right.
We had a great photographer on here a while back, and he was talking about how you can use stock photography, but it's not authentic. People see past it. So, like, you can provide these videos and you say, get better and better, but I think you're there already. It's the authenticity. It's the, it just feeds into the brand. And too many people are trying for perfect, and
Yeah.
they don't understand what perfect is. Perfect is the understanding of what your company is and who you are.
Yeah.
And that's why people come to you.
Yeah.
Right.
I
So,
agree.
Can I point out
Please.
one thing on there? And I
Yeah.
think that Adriana is also noticed. If you look there, there's the Strachan Vedtil Studios. We're in there.
Yeah.
Without doing a paid product placement, which that was not. You knew exactly what I was talking. She mentioned Strax. We go to Strax to buy the milk, and you're showing Strack event till everybody in the
Yeah.
region has been at that thing. And then it's even better when you throw the ice down. It has the big high V sign on it.
Yeah, I didn't even
I
think
gotta
about
believe,
that.
Adriana, if Renee Tomets is watching this video, or she will, we'll send it to her. That there is a good possibility. You put them into that,
Hmm.
and it was just kind of an ironic accident that who
Yeah,
knows,
I
it
didn't
might
even think
actually
about that.
something might come out of that.
Yeah.
But um,
There's another partnership.
there's
Yeah.
another partnership. You I know you had something else, but I have married into a Hispanic family,
Mm,
and you keep talking about La Familia.
yeah.
And are you strong in the Hispanic community, or is it just
Yes.
all right? So talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not typically huge on coffee.
No. And you know what? I it's funny. I've heard from multiple people my coffee is more of a dessert to some people, which I mean, the Mexicans or at least the Latinos, like we are big on dessert. But a lot of my drink inspiration comes from like Hispanic desserts as well. I have
Flan,
not yet, not yet. I have a
okay,
tres leches matcha right
yes,
now. I have a drink coming out. I won't say what it is yet, but that's inspired by a Spanish or Mexican dessert as well. So I draw a lot of my inspiration on that. I've had a mazapan drink. Just I love my culture. I love my people. A lot of my community is Latino. And I originally assumed that my following or my community would be like in Indiana because that's where I live. I live in Cherville. But like I said, where I'm from, like they're so big on community. They're so big on supporting other people from that community. So a lot of my followers are from, Chicago, and
from the
that's
east
from
side,
the east
which
side.
that
But
has a
yeah,
huge closeness around a few of the Catholic schools and
yes,
in the neighborhoods.
yeah,
So if you're looking to expand, I mean, this
hmm,
is so new to you.
yeah.
I'm just curious, where do you want it to go?
So I have a couple of ideas. I do obviously want a coffee shop one day. That's just the dream for everybody in this space. But I feel like I could take it bigger than that. I want to do digital products because I could only reach so many people in one location. So I want to do digital products. Not gonna say exactly what yet because I have a couple of different ideas, but digital products, coffee shops, and like just some people have already messaged me saying if I'm hiring employees, and I'm just like, I never even thought it would get to that point one day. So, I mean, just growing my team. I mean, right now I feel so bad taking away my parents' weekends, and my little brother's weekends, but that's just our life right now. So maybe one day just, growing my team and seeing where it goes.
So, so as a father,
Hmm.
I can guarantee your parents don't mind, right?
They
They
don't.
are they are over the moon at this point,
They really
trying
are.
to
Yes.
build success and
Hmm.
everything. We deal with a lot of startups.
Hmm.
Jim and I talk to a variety of startups, and especially here in the university setting. And I don't think you realize where you're heading.
Hmm.
I think in 2 years you're going to hit a plateau, and you're going to have to start making just some decisions.
Yeah.
I've got a million ideas that I'd love to give you. I won't give them to on air here,
Yeah, I would love to hear
um,
them.
but like I could see where this could go, and amazing, just a bunch of different ways to go with it, right?
I would love to hear them.
So let's go to the flip side of it. What
Okay.
are the biggest struggles that you're dealing with right now?
Ooh, yeah, there's definitely some struggles. I mean, I show everybody kind of a part of my day, but I mean, this is a lot more work than I thought it was gonna
Hmm.
be. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, my days start on the weekends, I should say, because during the week I do some things like I prep and I order inventory and stuff like that, but it's kind of just like, it's not so time consuming during the week, but on the weekends, I mean, I'm waking up around 5:30, and if I have an event, Saturday and Sunday, then it's just, it's cleaning up, it's prepping for the next day, and I mean sometimes it's like 13 and 14-hour days. And I think that's just kind of the struggle, but it's still new to us, so we're still trying to make the process a little bit more smooth during the weekend, and yeah, I think that's right now it's just kind of I don't know how to say it, like taking the process and making it smoother.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, just, I mean, automating some of the processes
Yeah,
and things like that.
exactly. Yeah.
We're all in that space.
Yeah.
People ask me that all the time because, multiple businesses and whatever else. They're like, how do you do this?
Yeah.
My
Make it more time efficient.
my dean yesterday at the college asked me, she's like, how do you, it's a process, right?
Yeah.
There's all these things that we do.
Exactly.
Interesting. I love the idea. Do you collect any information from your customers when they come to see you?
Oh, you knew this was coming.
Oh boy.
Adriana knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. We should have prepped you on the
Oh,
way
God.
in.
Yeah,
He is
sorry.
a marketing professor after all. So
Okay, so maybe you could teach me a couple things
Sure.
because I don't
Okay.
know.
So you meet, you do an event. Let's say, is it 100 people that show up?
Depends on the location.
Okay.
I think the most people I've served maybe around 100
Okay.
or more.
So let's say that we have 50 to 100 people that show up every time you do an event.
Okay.
Those people have information, whether it's their cell phone or their email.
Mhm.
I would suggest some kind of, you could do it as simple as a QR code,
Okay.
some little incentive for them to share their information. Because
Okay.
the next event that you do, you can send that email out beforehand or send a text message out to those individuals saying, hey, come see us. We're going to be at this event, right? So it's one way. You've already sold them.
Yeah.
I can see that your customers absolutely love the coffee or the dessert,
Yeah. Either or.
right?
Either or work.
And at that point, build that list, own that list, because we've talked about this a lot where you don't own the list on Instagram, you don't own it on
Right.
TikTok. You need to pull that information off.
Okay.
Get an email at the very minimum that you can then start to send emails out to those individuals to say, hey, we're going to be at this location. Come see us on this date.
No, that's an awesome
That
idea.
that should at least boost each one of those.
Yeah.
I would say probably about 10-15% every time you do that.
Okay. That's an awesome idea. I never even thought. I'm telling you, I never even thought of that.
Well, it's the only thing I have left. You've done all the other things. So,
I just want to point out that you're exhibiting what Professor Hansen has. You're doing naturally what he tries to get clients to do all the time and they can't do.
Yeah.
Which is to create stimulating content for their feeds. I mean, you are a huge natural on that. And that is something that I think that anybody who's taken in our podcast, whether you're on the advertising side or you're on the any of the other sides that might come to this marketing thing, is that there are people like you in a lot of organizations. And to some extent, it may not always be the marketing person, but if you are working in an organization, that marketing person should find you and have you do the videos. Am I saying that correctly?
oh, without a doubt. I mean, there's hidden talent. Certain people are better in certain situations. So you need to find out who those people are, right? So, Jim and I are not necessarily, I mean, we cut clips from the podcast and all of that, but I am not a social media get up on, throw my phone up. For example, last weekend I was in South Bend watching a bunch of college students give advertising presentations, and I thought, oh, this would be great. We should do an interview, and I'm just like, no, I don't want to be the old guy walking around going, can I videotape you? But it's a missed opportunity just because I said no to that, right? I did reach out to a few of the professors, and I talked about potentially bringing in a few of them to have some conversation in recording that. But again, you're comfortable in doing that. You've incorporated the customers into it. The way we do it here is we do it on a podcast because then we don't have to think about the camera that's over here to the left of me and recording. So that's not something that we're good at, but we have our wonderful producer that does that for us, which is
Yeah.
great. If they could make us sound better once in a while and look better, it might be a better thing. But what I'm saying is, you've taken a lot of the things that we've done in past podcasts and you've already incorporated it in 6 months, right? So you're off and running. You talk about your parents. Your parents are
Yes.
always going to be your biggest supporter.
They are.
But honestly, I've heard probably 100 business ideas in the last 6 months, and I would float this up to the top and say,
Oh.
where you can go with this is entirely up to you, right?
Right.
So,
Where do you find you
yeah.
and your name? And once again, if you're listening on the radio or the TV or whatever, and you're just kind of sticking in at the end of this, I tell people your name and your business and how they can get and watch these beautiful videos.
Thank you. My name is Brianna Alba. I own Crema Avenue Coffee, and you can find me on Instagram or TikTok at Crema Avenue.
¿Se habla español?
Sí. Poquito.
Do you think you could do some in Spanish?
Ooh, that one's
Okay, I just
I could-
wondered.
I could
That was an
try.
idea.
No, yeah, I do speak Spanish. I understand it a lot more than I speak it. But I could try. That's a
Okay.
good idea for
All right,
a couple
just-
videos.
You got a lot of free
Yeah.
ideas here, but
Yeah.
I share Professor Hansen's excitement about your business. So thank you for coming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Thank you guys for having me.
So obviously this will come out on Tuesday.
Okay.
Today is Thursday, as you've told me. I lose track of the days. So next Tuesday, when it comes out, anyone that's listening, where can they find? What's the next event that you have?
So next Tuesday, let me look at my calendar real quick. I get mixed up with the days too.
In the meantime, I'm trying to put the geography together as she's looking for this. You live in Cherville, which means you moved out of the east side, right? Or is that
Yes,
where you
correct.
lived? Yeah. And you moved to Cherville, but you still have all these friends back at
Yeah.
the east side. So
Yeah.
that's kind of your core.
Yes.
And Indiana, eventually, where we are now, will
Yeah.
be your next frontier,
Mhm,
right?
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Yeah.
So I will be at Trey Jolie Med Spa in Pilsen
Okay.
on the 26th from 9 to 2 p.m.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you
so
go.
Come try the coffee, guys.
And if anybody wants to have you out, they just go and catch you on social media.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
Perfect. Well, thanks for coming in today. Again, I'm really excited to kind of share the the business idea, some of the
Yes.
marketing that you're doing that's shown the growth that you've had and where you're going to go. I think the rest of the year is just it's going to keep going. So
Thank
keep
you.
up
I
the good
really
work.
appreciate it. Thank
All
you
right.
so much.
Well, until next time, we will see you later.
All right.